meeting. We'll remind everybody that they are being recorded, so anything you say, somebody else can hear it. So make sure you know what you're saying, I guess. All right, we'll open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Secretary, roll call.
Andrew Melchin.
Present.
Dan Osborne.
Present.
Andrew Strati.
Present.
Aaron McManaway.
Present.
John Christ is present. Also note that Kevin Dante, our town manager and acting building commissioner, is at the table.
All right. The October 16th, 2025 minutes. And entertain a motion to approve those minutes, and if somebody has anything they think need to be changed on that minutes, seems correct. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the August 2025 minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, I got a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we got case number 2025-B16 filed by K. Gruber Construction on behalf of PAYNE AMBER M of 624 Academy Road, Culver. Subject to the hearing is to request a variance of development of 5 feet from the required 10-foot east side yard setback for an addition and a shop. And who is presenting that? Yeah, presenting it. All right. Go ahead and tell us what can be done.
So we're
Could you please identify yourself
Yeah.
and give your address?
Alvin Swartz,
Could you spell that for me?
ALVIN SCHWARTZ.
And your address?
My address is 9005 Jar Road, Plymouth, Indiana.
I'm sorry?
9005 Jar Road, Plymouth, Indiana.
And you representing?
Payne.
Okay. I just want to make sure what's on here. You have to be
You're part of Gruber Construction.
K. Gruber Construction, yeah.
okay. Go ahead.
So the reason we need the setbacks, we need it closer to the property line is so we can access the building from the driveway on the east side of the existing garage.
Should have diagrams, I think.
So real quick, I'm Jeff Payne. I am at 624. We're just suffering the decades-old crowding from the west, where our property line's actually, according to the survey, is right on or kind of in the middle of the Monroe's driveway and garage, according to kind of how it started, which Jenny informed us when we moved in. So in light of not having half the garage door cut off from the driveway that would be behind the house, where you can't really go in straight and you don't have enough distance to take a left and jog around the side of the house, we need it, 5 feet to the east. Also, just aesthetically, we want it to look like it was always there. So we're spending the extra money to have the right peaks and the angles. And when you drive by, we don't want half the garage door cut off to look like some addition. We want it to look like it should and function, where you don't have to come in and take some crazy hard 90 and then worse yet back out at a 70-degree angle to just get in and out of that. So that's the reason that we're crowding it, because we started out crowded from the west. Everything should have been shoved to the west from the very start. So we're about 50 years into a property line crowding from the start. And then, we just worry about, the location and the aesthetics. We're not trying to do something that's unsightly. we have enough of that going on around here, so we really just want it to look like it should with the house. So it'll be just the same level as the house. We're going down with the elevation instead of up, so we don't want that look, and I'm sure no one else does either, where you drive by and you essentially got a pole barn that looks bigger than the house. We're spending the extra money to make sure it looks like it should, and then obviously hiding most of it behind the house. So it's useful, but it doesn't overpower the aesthetics, if that makes sense.
Could you please state your name and
Jeff
address?
Payne, 624 Academy Road. Amber is my wife.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what-
I'm a little confused on exactly what.
If you could maybe come up here and show us exactly
Yeah.
where you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't myself,
This is the existing garage. Not in mine, it's existing garage.
trying to figure out where this is that.
Yeah, so if you see, I'll turn it upside down. So this is the garage door. This is the east line that we're talking about. So if we don't get the 5-foot variance, it comes over 5 feet this way, and then you see, this is the corner of the existing house. That peak gets shoved over behind the corner, and then the garage door gets shoved over behind the corner of the house. And then when you come in, you have to go like this to get in and out.
And then you're talking about the driveway.
Yeah.
Over and going up.
So this
Yep.
driveway actually goes
So
into.
this garage right
Okay,
here,
this
if
is
you didn't have the
his garage
variance,
right here.
the peak would be shoved
So he
over,
wants to-
like
so
offset
this is
to
the
the
garage
west
right
in the wrong
here.
direction.
So
So you'd only have like 6 feet of the
He wants to
driveway.
extend this, so it goes,
Actually exposed to the garage, if that makes sense.
he wants to go like.
So you'd have to
this.
pull in, set the garage way farther back, and then make all of this driveway just to get into the garage. Does that make sense? So just by offsetting it 5 feet to the east, lets that peak hit right on the side of the house, so the whole garage door is exposed. It looks nice, and you can actually just drive in. So the most of what you're seeing is behind the house. But the reason for the actual offset is you can't, no sheet out of there. You just can't.
Is that a 2-car garage door overhead?
It doesn't have room for that, so it's like, I think he's got, what, is it a 9-foot door?
It doesn't give any indication of the size.
I think the biggest we can get in and still look right from the street is, I think it's a 9-foot door. So basically, if you stood out front and looked at the driveway, it would look like a single-car garage from the peak east.
Okay. Well, as I look at these plans here that do have some measurements, there is a center mark to the garage door of 8.5 feet to the exterior wall. So that,
8 feet 1.5 inches.
8 feet 1.5 inches. So that leads me to believe that that garage door has got to be something like 16 feet.
No, be not. Well, maybe.
Well, no.
Yeah, I think it's around 9, 10, it's, we can't get
We
it.
say you're talking.
Well, but what I'm looking at here,
No, I see what you're
Right,
saying.
as far as the width of the.
that mark, that
2-car garage.
Yeah, it's not.
makes that door look like it's a 2-car garage.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So then my question would become then, why can't you put in a one-car garage overhead door that would be 9 feet,
I think
which
that-
would reduce the width?
I mean, you've got asphalt width at 20 feet 3 inches. And the garage is gonna go here.
Right.
It'd be like putting a 16-inch door to your bedroom, and you have to like turn sideways to go in to access the rest of your bedroom. It limits the use and the function of the, so every car you put in there, if you have 3 cars in there, you're gonna have to back one out, get it all the way down the driveway, back the other one out. You can't, it turns a really good-sized garage into a knothole entry and exit point, if that makes sense. And then aesthetically from the road, it looks like an afterthought. Like the garage door is, and the peak of the building are not symmetrical. We don't want to look like we dumped a double wide trailer back there is what we're trying to, it's cheaper to do it the way you're talking about, but we're trying to do it aesthetically.
But I don't want to
Oh, okay, that's
sound
new.
harsh, but I mean, we can't look at aesthetics as far as variance.
What does it hurt the variance? What am I hurting?
Huh?
What am I hurting by having that 5-foot variance?
I'm not saying you're
The standard is
hurting, I mean,
10 foot.
you're reducing your side yard setback for what gain when there's no hardship that I can see other than the lot
According-
itself or where the house was built originally.
According to the elevation sheet, we are at 8 foot wide at this point on the garage door.
Well, these plans don't show that.
I guess my question, I'm a little confused on the property lines. And the GIS is way off, according, how close is your property line to the house to the east, you know?
Oh, I think from our existing house to their existing property line,
Is this what you were showing now?
Yeah.
That's the last updated plan.
yep.
I agree with you.
I think it's like,
Yeah, this is the property line right
if we stay with a 10-foot setback, you don't even have room for a 7-foot door. You essentially can't put a garage over there. You can't get past the house to even do it. I think we need like a visual. So if you literally stay at the 10-foot setback, you don't even have room for a 8-foot wide garage door. You can't do it.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying. But
So we have a 2-foot overhang on the existing garage. So that there we're losing another 2 feet, basically. So in order to use the garage door the way we want to use it, it's not going to be possible if we move it back 5 feet.
We originally wanted to put it on the west side, but to Melch's point, it's been common knowledge on that property that our property line originally is literally down the middle of Jenny Monroe's driveway, which would put her garage and half her driveway on my original property line. So we didn't know that till Jenny told me, and I'm like, well, okay, so we can never do anything to the west. Our only ability is to do it to the east. So I'm just saying, in fairness, I'm not sure why I deserve to get penalized when I'm just making it, put it the only place I can actually put it because the property lines are off to start.
I understand your situation here, but you're not being penalized either way, just so you know.
So if I can't put the garage up on use because I only have a 7-foot door, that's being penalized. All you can get in there is a golf cart.
You're only penalized if you're not allowed to do what you're allowed to do.
One of the
You're not allowed this until.
One of the questions I have, just for clarity, when we look at beacons, sometimes beacon lines are off, but your proposed plan right now shows you going over the property line to the east. Would that be an accurate statement that you're actually, are you staying
No.
within your property line?
Yeah, we had a survey. We're still 5 feet off
That's
the
what I
survey
needed to know,
line.
Jeff. So
Yeah.
that's, I think they were asking whether or not, because there was a question about what you were looking at on Beacon. The plan looks like you're moving over the eastern property line, but you're saying that you're still 5 foot from that
Correct.
property line. So this is not accurate?
Must not be,
Okay.
because we had a survey.
Is
Are you
this
5 foot or
document
are you
here,
3 foot? You said you have a 2-foot overhang over
the
the
survey
peak.
that you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. That was included
Yeah, they're saying this.
in the emails, the initial email
This is
document.
the one that was, I sent out.
And the stakes are still up, so you can see.
I do have a couple more questions, if you're
Well, I
done.
just want to verify that 5 feet, if it was from the building to footprint or the 2-foot overhang.
So the existing building that's there has a 2-foot overhang. The building that we're putting on is not gonna have a 2-foot overhang.
Okay. So
And
5 foot.
for the record, if you look at the survey, I think it's better than, the Beacon document was printed out because that was part of the portfolio package. If you look at the retracement survey, you're actually not, according to the retracement survey, you're not on Jenny's property, you're right against it. She's right against you, either way you want to look at it. If you take a look to the west there, and then it does make sense to the east. So the property lines, it's not necessarily that you're cutting over into her, or her house is cutting into your property, it's right up against it.
Well, the new
According
guy
to this
was,
survey,
he was saying I can't pound stakes in the middle of an asphalt driveway or the middle of the garage.
Okay.
So he put them where he could put them, but I
Well, I
mean,
would
we can get Jenny in here for a written statement too.
Well, no, it shows it, Jeff. I'm just saying, when you look at the Beacon document, it looks like you're halfway into her house.
And it's all super friendly. Jenny's friendly, the keys are friendly, everybody knows what we're doing, everyone's on board as far as neighbor goes. And we are still 5 feet off of the line.
So what he's saying is, according to the actual survey, like, this
Yeah.
one should move this way.
The survey shows you in a ridiculous amount of
We move,
house.
okay, so it's 8 feet off either
That's
way.
kind of, that's gonna be my question.
Like, I mean, if you look at this property
So,
line right here,
did you,
the existing garage is to the west.
Right,
not.
right.
Are you a member of this, or you have questions later?
I'm a neighbor.
We'll get to
I just
you.
wasn't sure what it was.
I'm a neighbor.
Well, we'll get to you in a minute, too. We'll make
Okay.
sure everything's sure. I'm sorry, but, I mean, we have to get everything.
No, I just wanted
So it
to
looks like
let you know,
Right.
let him know.
Yeah,
It's 14 inches.
I'll make sure that
From the outside to the outside with that
Right, correct.
door with the
I have a number of questions.
Right?
No.
As I look at the retracement survey, you have the house listed. Is there currently, and then as I look at the plans that you've submitted, you got 2 sections that are existing. Is there currently a garage built?
There's like a 10 by 16 building right behind the house,
Well, no, I'm not talking about that.
so there's no,
Existing garage, yes,
No.
there is an existing garage.
There is an existing garage, attached garage to the property. I see that
That is.
This is existing
you're,
garage,
it
right?
appears that you're going to be tearing down the shed that's on the
Doesn't-
retracement.
what you're calling existing garage is our 4th bedroom. When we bought it in 2020, we took out the existing garage that faced front and turned it into a bedroom and a bathroom.
But that's where the driveway goes into. It appears that it would have, it
The left
wasn't-
half of the driveway, that's where it originally goes. The right half is what's jogged over and goes into the new, what would be
So-
garage.
So what looks like an existing garage is actually a bedroom.
Right.
Okay.
So if you
That's
pull
where
up to
the
the house,
driveway-
you see the asphalt where it originally was, and now there's a jog to the right, to the east, to allow the entry into that garage.
So that asphalt is already there?
Yep.
Just this part.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
the
Just
the
this
roadside
part
part.
is
This
there.
part is here, so.
It's there all the way back beside the house.
Okay,
to the-
I have some more questions.
Yeah, okay, so
I noticed
this
that-
is already there.
On the retracement survey, the asphalt that is to the east of the house is listed as 20 feet 3 inches in width.
Your proposed.
No, on the retracement survey,
Yeah, I'm saying, it's not already there.
no, he said it was there.
Oh, I thought you just said this was here.
The asphalt to the east of the house is
The
already there.
asphalt to the east of the house
The jog and everything's
is-
already there? Okay. That's 30.
is 20 feet 3 inches in width, is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay, it does not indicate how far the eastern edge of that asphalt is to the property line. But my question is there some reason that that 20 feet could not be reduced to 10 feet?
So if we,
Or
If-
15 feet?
if we're 1 foot away from if the property line's 1 foot away from the building, or 1 foot away from the driveway, then we eliminate another 4 feet, which is, we want to be at 5 feet. That gives us only, if, on the existing house, we have a 2-foot overhang. So we're down to 18 feet on that already, and then we're losing 4 feet on the other side. So that puts us down to,
So when you drive in, I
14
think what he's
feet.
trying to explain is, this is the existing wall of the house now, and here's the driveway to the east. The overhang is so long on here that you'd have to keep the garage over, or you can't just go in and saw the overhang off, right? So you can't crowd behind the overhang, because you can't drive a car under the overhang. So the garage door's gotta stay to the east, and if it stays to the east without the variance, you only have like 7 feet. You don't even have a usable garage door, because of the setback and the overhang on the existing house. It leaves you it doesn't leave you enough room for a golf cart. Does that make any more sense?
Did you show them that?
Like, here's a picture. This will probably help you.
You go left or right, there's one more.
So, you see the overhang?
Right.
You can't, see you can't build the building underneath the overhang, so the garage door's gotta stay to the east. And you can see the asphalt that's there.
And we can't put the overhead door all the way out against the outer edge of the building. We have to have a foot in between the
So you can't
edge
put
of
the
the
garage
building
door in the
to the
building under the
overhead
overhang,
door.
so you gotta stay out here. And if you stay 10 feet back, it only leaves you 7 feet in the middle. That's a golf cart garage door, so, see there's the overhang. So the garage has gotta stay, the door's gotta stay east of that. And if we stay 10 foot, you've only got like 7 foot. Does that make sense? Does that help you?
The height?
How tall is the overhang? I
Yeah.
think it's 8 feet.
It's 8 feet at the wall.
It's just, it may be a little under 8 feet. If you look at that Jeep there, it's about 8 inches above the Jeep.
Right, I noticed the roof comes down, and then,
Mhm.
like you said, you've got the straight soffit from the wall. It
So I'm
comes
guessing
out,
it's
And then you've got
7.
a dip at the end of it. So you're losing 6 inches just on your dip alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the current asphalt driveway to the east of the house is about a foot away from the property line?
That's my guess.
And then the garage edge comes in off of that about 4 feet?
Well, if we stay 5 foot off the property line,
Yeah.
Mills, your math's right.
we'd be 4 foot onto the driveway already.
And that's from the wall, or is there an overhang on the new garage?
It gets an overhang on the new garage,
1 foot?
probably a 1 foot
Yeah,
overhang.
it's short.
So now you're down to 4 foot.
So we're already losing 5 feet of that driveway, and then we're losing the 2 foot off of the existing house there. So we're already down to,
I'm saying you're asking for a 5-foot setback, but with 1 foot overhang on your garage, it's gonna cut it down to 4 foot.
yeah.
Yeah, the foundation would be a 5, the overhang would be a
Yeah,
4.
we have to go by,
Go by the-
we have to go by gutters, anything.
And if you come out, look at the survey, the Keys fence is sitting right on the survey line, like right on the property line.
Yeah, I'm just more concerned with the overhang. You're asking for 5 foot, but you're actually asking for a 4 foot.
So if you think of it as a homeowner, I got a fence on my property line to the east, I got a garage on or over my property line to the west. I'm boxed, but I didn't do it, right? So we're just trying to
Right.
suffer what's
I
left.
understand that too, but we just got to go by what the ordinances call for too, so. We want a variance from this ordinance that requires a 10 foot, but we're not gonna allow a 5-foot setback, and you're only getting 4, you wouldn't want that. But you'd have to ask for a 4 foot if that's what it's gonna be, a 4 foot.
Yeah, so
So,
did we ask for a 5 foot,
You
right?
did ask for 5 foot.
So what we asked for is that's what we're asking for.
So it's 5 foot from the edge of the overhang.
That's, if we can get the 4 foot, then absolutely.
Well, but your request is for 5.
your
So,
request is for 5.
so
and
let's
right
go,
now,
let's go with the 5.
What
'cause
you're
that's
wanting
what-
to
Then
build.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
we're-
have to cut,
We can just move it over, we can just jog it over a foot and make it work.
from the northern edge of the proposed new garage to the back of the property line, the back property line, how much distance is there?
Kevin, can you see that on the survey?
It doesn't give me any help on the survey.
Okay,
The
so,
survey says you have 125 foot on your east property line.
so what's the proposed addition there?
Yeah.
It goes back 54 feet from the existing back of the garage, old garage.
40 and
And since this is all new construction, is there any reason why?
14 plus 40.
Okay. Is there any reason why, since all this is new construction, your garage could not be reconfigured so that you could go down and then go past the existing and then make a left turn into the garage.
It just eats up the entire rest of the green space on the property. Right now, we've saved about 40% of the backyard. If you proposed, because you have to have a pretty large swing to go left and then back out. Like, you can't just back out and be off the driveway. So you'd have to set that.
Pervious and impervious.
Right, you'd have to set that, you'd have to move that thing 30 feet to the west.
My next question is, do you have any pervious, impervious calculations with what you have as proposed?
Right now, it looks, we're somewhere around 38 to 40% of remaining green space.
38 to 40% remaining green space?
Yeah, in the backyard. It comes all the way up to the house, all the way to the west.
Well,
There's nothing there.
And that's a deal breaker because you're gonna,
That's his backyard, he's saying.
That's just the backyard.
well, I'm talking the whole property.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. The whole front yard's there. The west
We-
is untouched.
We're
Like,
good on that. We figured that off. And I'm not sure exactly what the numbers were, but
We
do
would need to know
require
those
that.
numbers.
And we do.
You
require
cannot do anything that would cause your pervious area, which would be area that water can be absorbed in, to be less than 50%.
So then I have a question. There's a pole barn right downtown that it's 10 feet off the property line all the way around, but that's way over the.
We're talking about your property. We're not going to be talking about anyone
Oh,
else.
I'm just, you said I couldn't do it, but it's been done.
I think we were at 55%.
Pervious?
Yeah. We had figured it up and we were in the green there.
Okay.
Not to change on that, but I would like to address this question he had. It says, why can't we do it if they can do it? But each case that the BZA looks at is that particular property only. We don't compare, we don't set precedents for each one, because each case you need to present for that case only, and you have to show where there is a hardship or a reason other than you wouldn't like it or somebody else wouldn't like it. You know, I mean, it's gonna have to be, if we have to variate from the ordinance, there has to be a legitimate hardship. In other words, a reason that you can't do it. And one of the things that in here we could look at too is what he was talking about, as far as if you did put the garage further back. And did somebody ask?
Well, then your impervious number goes up, because you gotta keep paving green space. So we're fighting,
That's why I
right,
asked
right.
for the number.
Right.
That's a
Right.
good point.
We've done it with the smallest amount of impervious that we can.
Right, and we appreciate that. You're actually looking at what you need to look at, and I appreciate that. But are you removing the shed as well?
Yeah.
So that's gonna add to your,
Well, the shed, the garage goes right back where the shed was.
Yeah.
So if you think about the southwest corner of the building, it's the southwest of where the corner of where the old building is right now. Those corners actually line up within like 10 inches of each other. Do you have a map looking down where you can see the
yeah,
old building?
Yeah.
So the new building is really, really close to that same corner, if that makes sense.
You said southwest?
Yeah.
The northwest corner of the old house and the southwest corner of the new.
Oh.
Correct. Yep, Mills, you got it right.
Oh, okay.
okay.
It's not encroaching any further to the west, is what you're saying.
Yeah, do we have any more questions right now? We can go ahead, because I'm hoping come back to him.
My name's John Helfrey. I live at 708 Academy Road. I'm 2 doors down from the Payne family. And I've known them for over 10 years, maybe closer to 13. He lived across the street from me for 10 years, and he was an exceptional renter as far as taking care of his property and doing things that needed to be done. If I wish I owned the property and have him as a renter. And he bought the house down the street and turned it into an old, dated piece of property into a nice, newer piece of property. And I'm here to support the project. I think anything he's going to do is going to be in quality work along with what's required of the ordinances.
So you're 100% support
Yes,
what he's asking.
yes.
And we're talking to the public. Does anybody online have any comments? Or
Yeah, I've got a few people online. Anybody have any input? I'm not seeing any.
All right. One thing I understand, I mean, obviously you have room in the backyard. And there's no hardship that would keep you from putting it there. Correct? Or am I wrong?
Well, except you're gonna chew up the rest of the green space to come in and go left to
Well,
move it
that
west.
wouldn't be a hardship.
So,
It's against your ordinance, I think, right, though? It's against your percentage.
No.
If I'm reducing the percentage on the pervious area, then
So
yes, but we want to look at this actual,
if we move it to the, back, if we, so that, we have to redesign the whole project. And if we redesign to where it works, then we have to ask for a variance on the backyard setbacks.
NIPSCO's got a easement across the back. And you're talking about another $15,000 or $20,000 in excavating and $30,000 in asphalt.
I understand. But I mean, is the easement within that rear yard setback, what you're talking about?
I don't, if you see the survey,
But
but you just have to stay 5 feet off of the telephone pole both ways, so it looks like a 10-foot swath behind the house there.
Oh, pretty
If you
close
s-
to the house?
If you see, no, it's at the back of the property.
Okay.
Okay, so
I was trying to figure out here, I think, Mr. Melson, you come up with, what was it,
40.
140?
What?
No, 40-some feet, right? It was
It is
125 feet.
54 feet.
Sorry. I thought you were asking me about the
No,
total.
It's
no.
54 feet from the existing house
Okay,
to the back property line, right?
right. And
from
I'm just
the
trying, I'm
existing
curious
house
how
or
far
the
that easement.
proposed,
The existing,
The existing house to the back of the proposed is an additional 54 feet to the north.
sorry.
I don't know,
Okay,
I don't have an indicator of what the distance is behind the current house.
well,
I think it leaves me about 10 feet off the easement.
be 10 feet off the easement, which how far off? From your property line to including the easement, would be how far?
Well, you can't, I mean, you can't put anything impervious on the easement, you can't even put a
Can't put
fence.
anything on the easement.
No,
Right.
and that's the reason I want to know how far.
But that easement, it still counts as his, but he can't build on it
Right.
for the setback. Sorry, Mary.
Yeah.
So we got about 10 feet to the 5 feet that you have to stay off, if that makes sense. So
Okay,
they tell you where the guy was just super helpful because we cleared it when we bought it.
okay.
So the lady couldn't see behind, anyway, it was a jungle, it was actually grew up to the power lines.
Yeah.
So we cleared all that.
Getting to I think the question would be, with your new construction, to the back of the property line, counting the easement, you're 25 foot still.
Something like that, yep.
I think that's
Pretty much what I'm looking at.
That's what I was
But-
wondering.
But at the same time, I mean, when I was talking about as far as putting the garage back there as well, that easement alone would probably create the hardship that you couldn't put it back there.
Well, not just that, if you see,
All right, Dan?
if you see the design of the house, we would have to redesign the house, and that would shift our garage back to where, if we still want to connect it, that would shift our garage back to where we would run into a variance on the
All right, I
back
see what
side.
you're talking about there.
Have you had any correspondence with the neighbor to the east, this Key Living Trust people?
Yeah, Mark, he's super nice. He's the one that the fence is literally right on the line. So his wife Tanya works locally, and we talk to him, see him every day. So he's willing to come in and sign whatever you need him to sign and say he's good with it too.
Yeah, even with that 40-foot addition onto the back to the north, depth-wise, you're still sitting over, in the county of the easement, you're still sitting at 28.6 to 30 foot of rear yard setback, according to Beacon.
That feels right. That seems right.
That's pretty close.
I guess my question is, with the adjustments of the actual property line versus what Beacon is showing, is this a standard side yard setback in this area?
Standard?
I mean,
Is it-
I think if you look at where,
Is it common?
well, I'm
Probably
saying,
so.
in the past, the town, the building commissioner for Culver has had the ability to say that they can do something as long as it aligns with the properties neighboring. So I guess my question is, that this asphalt edge is really, whatever it is, 23 feet over. How far from the property line is this house to the east?
I think Mr. Payne brought it to bear, and I think you're alluding to it, Andy, is that there are some issues, and Beacon over-exaggerates it, but there are issues with setbacks here to the east and west property lines. North and south, you're good on your front yard setbacks. I think that as you go through here, and I haven't surveyed every property, but Beacon indicates it, and it's probably replicated all the way down to Bennett's. And I think you've got some side, Bennett's has a lot of, he had it built in, he's got that corner lot. But I think when you get in this neighborhood, when John, you're 2 doors down, if you surveyed that, you're gonna realize we're probably not sitting at the 10-foot
Yeah.
minimum
Yeah.
setbacks.
Which, I mean,
I would suggest it, I don't have the evidence, but
And
I
I'm
think
I'm not
there's,
saying that should be the standard, I'm just saying that if the houses within this small area of the community all have that similar side yard setback, then that would be already a norm.
I think you demonstrated the neighbor to the west does.
And I did figure out what that door, that overhead door is at 14 feet on the opening.
I think to Melcher's point, when we're done, if it happens like this, it won't look like it's any closer than any other house and garage to any other house and garage in that area, like John's house to the Keys house, or John's house to the east. It still has that same spacing feel when we're done, if that makes sense. I think, Melch, is that kind of what you were trying to
Yeah,
think about?
I'm just.
Which is the reason we're trying to
talked
shove
about
so much of
setbacks
it.
before, especially in these areas with maybe the antiquated lot lines, like we've made adjustments based on that being hardship. I mean, like right now, I mean, it looks like Jenny's house is a foot away from the property line, and if this is over here, then, I mean, that can't be more than 5 to 8 feet.
A lot of them, I'm measuring in between the houses on Beacon using the ruler tool, and you're looking at 13 to 15 feet between the houses, starting from, and Jenny's is on the property line.
So you're talking about 7.5 feet.
I'm talking about 7.5 foot, but again, I want to qualify, I'm using Beacon, but the measuring tool is pretty accurate enough to say that it's probably not sitting at 20 foot between the houses.
Which it should be.
Which it should, that's right.
Technically according
to ordinance, and again, just putting it into context for you guys.
On the retracement survey, the house to the east, the Key house, it's marked as house. There's an area there that's marked as house, but it doesn't give me an indication of what really the house, location of the house is.
The house is the square in the front, the back is a fence, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So the back with the X's, that's a fence.
So the house encompasses all the area inside the X's?
No, just that front square is the house.
Okay.
continuous line.
Where it says house, and then the X's are the
Okay,
fence.
all right.
Yeah.
The X's are the fence, okay.
That looks like it comes over, probably really close to the property line.
Yeah, the fence is sitting right on the retracement
The
stakes.
fence is on the property line.
Mhm.
Comes pretty close. Yeah.
Jeff, do you know what your addition, how close would it come to that fence?
It looks, well, so if we, I think if we're trying to ask for the 5 foot or the 4 foot, wherever we end up, or whatever you can do, or whatever we have to adjust, I would say, I mean, it never encroaches on that all the way back. Because I was talking to Mark Keys, like we were just discussing, hey, we want to be sensible, have room to mow, weed eat, maintain all that.
Probably 6 feet from the southwest corner of that fence.
Okay.
If that's really like, I mean, if this is fairly accurate, it's probably about a foot.
Does it actually go at that angle, that it shows that it angles out to the northeast, that fence, from the property line? Is that correct?
Yes.
Kind of see the fence on this.
I was just looking at that retracement survey.
Right, the new construction right here is just basically.
Oh, right here, yes.
Yeah, that's angling back.
Yeah, I see it right there. Yeah, you just barely see that line.
It looks like it could go.
So, I mean, it's gonna be maybe 5 feet at the front, 9 or 10 feet at the back.
Yeah, Mel said feels right. That sounds right.
Correct.
Like you gain as you go. That makes, yep.
And then he put that into a bedroom. Let's take this around.
Like that, and then there's a, kind of how I,
Porch here.
that's kind of how it would look, I guess.
That angle. That's a shop.
So if you look at the actual interior drawings, I guess, for the northwest corner farthest back, you see that mini garage door facing north. That's where we intend to put like your mowers and gas cans and keep that, I guess, more garage use. The 8x11 or 7x11 room just to the east of that is just tote storage. So that'll just be full of like shelving and totes. And then what you see to the south is like a mudroom. So you can transition boots, all that kind of stuff, leave it in the garage before you go to the house. And then the main open floor space is simply just a pickup truck, an SUV, and a golf cart with some room to move and not bang doors. So it's strictly residential. There's no shop, there's no welding, it's just, it's gonna be heated and cooled and feel like your house, if that makes sense. Just to help you make sense of what you're seeing if you're looking at the interior drawing.
Was there any letters of opposition?
I did not receive any letters of opposition. As a matter of fact, the mailings went out and there was no response, and the mailings were done early. Everything was filed correctly.
I guess I have a little concern about 4 foot versus 5 foot.
I mean, in my opinion, it should be 5 foot to the overhang. That's because that front fence is so close.
Yeah. And it was expressed that you can't, the overhang on the existing
We were good with.
is already
Yeah,
so low that it's, you can't hardly drive a vehicle underneath it. That, I'd have concern that you can't get a vehicle.
It would give both sides of the property the ability to get through there with a mower and
Mhm.
Well,
I want to, you did address that you would stay within that 5-foot
Yes,
variance.
yes,
With the overhang.
we would, we're gonna stay with what we asked for, the 5
So
foot.
you would modify these plans
Correct,
Yeah.
to
5
make the
foot.
garage
5 foot.
narrow,
You would move that
a little bit
foot over.
narrower.
correct.
I think we had figured that overhang in the first place. We are asking for a 5-foot setback.
Yeah, but you said the surveyor had 5 feet from the property line.
So we'll agree to
your-
5 foot to the overhang, not 5 foot to the foundation. We'll kick it all
You'll
foot to
kick it
the
over
west.
the foot.
And you need to remember that the overhang will also have to include
Gutter.
the gutters.
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah.
What, I still want to know about the pervious and impervious, because if you, and I'm just going by what's on Beacon, how that's done, it looks like it's pretty close,
Yeah.
especially when you put in the driveway, for that driveway to go back to
I
it.
mean, they're not asking for a variance on that, right? So the expectation is that they meet it, and the plans would have to be approved prior to that, correct?
As far as the asphalt.
As far as
No, it's
pervious-
pervious
Pervious
and
and impervious.
And that's the Marshall County building.
Marshall County does do that,
So
but we
before they
actually
start building,
require it
they'd
too,
have to-
on the thing here too.
Will there be any more asphalt put in then, or
Yeah.
no? So,
No, the impervious is done.
yeah,
As
so
far as
that
asphalt.
side, asphalt,
the side.
that's already there.
Right, yep.
Okay.
When you.
I do have a question.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand, I thought that was going to be added.
No, I think you're gonna be
Well, see,
okay on
the
that.
Beacon thing just screws this whole, it just screws this whole thing up. I mean, as far as looking at it.
I thought I'm not the only one. I was like, I can't make. it doesn't
No,
make
but
any
when-
sense to
I thought you were,
me.
I thought you were
When
gonna,
you-
according to this, looked like you'd
When
have.
you
Yeah,
print
I
out the
do.
case
Yeah,
report,
I
Dan, when I print it out, that's good to know. Get it out of there, because this isn't accurate at all. I appreciate it, and that's probably on me, putting the first package together,
You always
guys.
ask.
And also,
Do you?
Kevin-
Okay,
And
okay.
also, Kevin, is a notable thing to remember.
Well,
too.
let's stay in here for now, give me the advice later.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking about as far as the impervious.
Yeah.
That the applicant should have that on their.
Well, that's for the building permit, right? And so,
Well-
they don't, when,
No, I'm saying we have always required that.
okay, when I print out for the case, I'm getting the variance report directly from Marshall County. That is not something they ask. That's something I can ask for new construction, but he's not, that would have been done with the building commissioner up in Marshall County. They're the ones that are gonna enforce pervious and impervious standards according to what we have, because they're the ones that inspect it with new construction, Mary. I can ask for it, absolutely, but that's something that they're probably gonna enforce. That's at least my understanding of it. With the variance, I'm looking at just for the setbacks on this, and that's all I printed out. But if you need it, I can get it.
Well, I'm just saying that we usually require it. Dan will go along with me on this, I'm sure, because he's been here long enough to decide.
For
And I
new
know-
construction?
Pardon?
For new construction for a variance?
For new construction on a variance, as far as,
Yeah,
when you come up,
Great.
as far as us to approve it, and then Marshall County to deny it because it's not pervious enough.
Right.
Then
I
we're
can get
going
into
through
the
a
building
process
permit
for him, and he's paying for what, for a variance to even be looked at. And we are not in a position that we want to approve or not approve based on those conditions that could be rejected or approved, would have been approved anyway. But if we had them, it would go a whole lot smoother for you, and you wouldn't have to come back.
So I had talked to the building inspector about that. Here in the
This
next,
man right here.
next door over.
I'm not the building inspector.
Oh,
I'm
no,
an
no,
acting
building
commissioner. He's
inspector-
talking about Marshall County
Right,
Building
right.
Inspector.
Building
Barry.
inspector, no.
Okay.
I'm saying if you had this on the application originally, the information as far as pervious and impervious,
Mhm, well, he didn't ask for it. did he?
Yeah.
But there's no, what I'm trying to say, Barry, is there's no, on our application for variance, there is nothing that requires impervious or pervious to be recorded. That is something that has to go through the building commissioner and inspector up at Marshall County to approve or not approve. It is not something that is on our variance form. Is it something I can add? Yes. If it's something that Steve did
It's,
independently, I can provide that for you. I'm just going by what was on the variance request form that was
Okay.
submitted to Marshall County that I printed out.
that's good.
Okay.
I mean, between the two, I mean, I know you're moving into his position, or actually.
Right, and
petition
it's not even a matter of me
Right.
moving in position,
No,
it's
I'm
literally
just saying.
printing something off
Well,
the Marshall
think
County
that should be the
database.
way. I guess my question is, is this staked out in any way? I mean, do you have it, where are you gonna, is it staked on the property now?
It was before, like, we didn't want to mow around it all summer, so we left the survey stakes, but he'll have to restake out the building if you actually want to come see the stakes, if that's what you're asking.
Are you asking to see to measure?
Well, I'm just saying, if you had that, then that could clarify this pervious, impervious issue. Okay, that's what I guess, that's why I asked if they were, if it was survey, if it was staked out.
So we can take the survey here, and put our quoted, the new addition on there. We can figure out, like, it takes me a half hour to figure that out, and I can let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, either way on that. I mean, the other thing we could do is, if this was approved under conditions that it
Right.
didn't meet those.
I think that's what.
Like a
I
contingency.
think that's what you'll have to look
Has to
at.
meet
And-
those, right? They
That
haven't
has-
asked for that variance.
Right.
Well,
It has to meet those because they haven't asked for that variance.
Right.
So Marshall County would look at that.
I would suggest that the building permit would be denied if it doesn't follow according to our ordinances, that 50%. Because my understanding is that that's who does it, the inspector, not me personally. Now, and again, I'm new at the role, Barry, and I may have missed some information. But there wasn't anything that said when they applied for a variance that I should be looking at that. I'm trying to find the permit now, but you guys we can do it conditional however you guys want.
I mean, we won't use it now or whatever, but I would appreciate it, in my position, if you would actually call Steve and see why he did that, whether it was needed or whether it was on his own.
I think it might have been on its own.
Huh?
I don't know.
And it may be.
I think it might have been because,
And
like he said, there's nothing really on the application.
And maybe I'm missing something.
You know what the-
I don't know, but I'm going by what was on the application.
I have another question, just for clarity's sake. On the retracement survey where all the current asphalt is listed, you have asphalt to the east of the existing structure, and I see a figure of 20 feet 3 inches. Is that 20 feet 3 inches the width of the asphalt, or the distance from the eastern edge of the house to the property line? And I guess what I'm getting at is, if there is a concern about permeability, if some part of that asphalt driveway that is east of the existing structure could be cut off to add
Green?
some green space there.
Because the asphalt's gonna go a foot wider than the actual edge of, or more than a foot wider than the
Yeah,
actual edge of the garage.
And for the record, now, and I've opened the building permit to maybe help some, it's 18 foot to the western property line, so he's more back, he's further than what our standards are from Jenny's line, the property to the west.
Okay.
It's currently, the ask obviously is 5 foot to the east, so that's what they, Culver erosion control requirements, yes, got it. Does the project have advanced structural components? I'm looking through here, Barry, to see if I can find something, and I'll let you guys go until I find something on pervious and impervious. And I'm sorry for interrupting.
I mean, they've got 28 feet by 85 in the back. That's supposed to be green. Plus all the side yards, the front yard, I mean, it would be close.
I mean, it looks close.
Right, I mean, I think it's-
That's what I would rather.
40, right?
For
But
me.
like with anything, like, if it's not a variance that they're asking for, then the assumption is that they're going to comply, and that's up to the building commission, right?
And it could be on a condition too,
Yeah.
in this,
Yeah.
if you would get approved, that would have to be one of the stipulations that
Right.
it meets the impervious
And I'll be
standards.
dog, guys, I'm looking at the building permit. I don't see a first thing about pervious, impervious on here. It talks about the setbacks, it talks about post-construction, talks about erosion control. Square footage is, project square foot is 2,220. Structure height 14 foot total, so below our standards.
He's figuring it out, right?
Right. And honestly, with the Plymouth, with Marshall County, they don't look at our pervious and impervious regulations.
What I think what probably Steve did, Barry, was he took the total lot square footage, subtracted construction square footage and driveway square footage, and gave you a number. That would be the best way to calculate it.
That's the only way to.
That's exactly
That's
it.
the only way to calculate it.
Yeah, because they're not putting it on these applications at all, so
Right.
I apologize, but that's something maybe I could do for you guys in the future.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that
Sure.
Plymouth actually, or Marshall County, if they actually look at the pervious, impervious features on our.
Probably not.
Probably not.
So I'm saying it could be approved, and the impervious be wrong according to our standards at the same time.
I would agree, and I think we probably ought to address how we go about that, but that's a topic for another time. Sorry.
Yeah. Anybody has anything else? Discuss it. If not, we'll go finding of facts.
Okay.
And I will remind everybody that anytime you disagree with any of these three items, that it's an automatic vote no, just so you know. All right, number one, general welfare. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Do you agree or disagree? Number two is adjacent property. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. So both sides did agree with that. So, practical difficulty, the strict application of terms of zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. The situation should not be self-imposed or based on perceived reduction of or restriction on economic gain. Should we be vocal on our findings of facts? Is that part of the agreed procedure? Individually, as far as finding facts?
Whatever you want to do.
I mean, it doesn't make any difference other than, letting them know whether or not they want to proceed with the,
Well, we would need a motion to approve the variance. Do you want to do findings of facts?
no, I'm fine. Sorry, but they're all other members. So I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Make a motion that we approve petition number 2025-B16 for the request of a 5-foot east side yard setback from the required 10 feet, pending verification of the pervious and impervious percentage meets the ordinance standards.
Got a motion?
I would like to see that the 5-foot, it's stated from the gutters to the property
Well,
line.
I mean, that's what our setback is, right? It's from,
Right, that's
Yeah,
what
Yeah,
we
but
require.
since
okay.
there wasn't this
5 foot
discussion,
from the edge of the overhanging gutters from the 10-foot required east side yard setback.
I got a first.
I'll second it.
I got first and second. All opposed, all approved. By sign, say yes.
Aye.
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 Chair says aye.
5-0, correct?
5-0. No need for a negative vote.
All right. For the record, did some quick math. The lot size is 1/3. Lot size is 1/3 of an acre green. 14,520 foot, 1/3 of an acre. You take the existing home plus the 2,200 square foot addition, you're looking at 3,300. Let's say that driveway is 20 foot by, let's give it 50 or 60 foot, somewhere in there. You're still looking at over 10, probably at the very least, 9,000 green space out of 14. So I think that's probably how Steve calculated it. So what I'm saying is, I think we're really good on the impervious pervious.
Well, he was figuring it out. You were figuring it out. weren't you?
Yeah.
That's what I. yeah,
Pretty
I
close?
Yeah.
Pretty
you're
close?
About right on.
All right, I did the math in my head, so I apologize if I got it wrong.
I thought you were a history teacher.
I'm really good at math in my head. I was a bartender for about 5 years, so. Misspent youth, buddy. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Barry, and I'll try to get that information.
Yeah,
for
I
you.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it. I know it took a little longer than normally, but to cover everything, I do appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
thanks,
right.
guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
All
your
right.
thoroughness.
We got old business.
I pulled all the old business off, Barry, for the night. That'd be,
Well, it's-
the one that's, I'm sorry, that's gonna be new business, because, sorry,
Oh,
that's gonna be
no.
new business, because
Oh,
he's got
okay.
some things to
I
talk
thought
about.
you were saying Jim had to go
No,
home.
no,
going home.
Jim's not, no,
Jim's not
Jim's
going
here to
home.
talk.
Jim's
Any more old business that any of the members have?
Before Jim talks, real quick, just on the Fairchild update, they're working on the math, they're gonna try to get that height, he's contacted me. They said they'll come back at the first of the year, that's it, that's the update.
So, I mean, as far as they're gonna get the height.
I don't know what that means, Dan, and I don't wanna speculate, I think
Okay.
they're gonna try to work within our,
Okay.
but we'll see. Appreciate it.
They are aware of the fact that the determination of grade should be within the,
Separate conversation, sir, for a later date.
okay.
Appreciate the heck out of you, though. That has been stated to them, I do believe, by our building commissioner, correct? And that's why we were coming for an appeal, but that's been stated, and it was pulled off the docket for a reason.
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Easterday, how are you this evening?
Any other old business?
No.
All right, any new business? You the only one?
I think I'm the sole survivor.
Thank you for waiting.
I met with your acting building commissioner, and we had a nice discussion on this property, and he suggested he put us on the agenda for tonight, so we could just talk informally. And tell you what I have, and my question to him is gonna be the same question I have to you, and that is, what kind of variances do I need on this property? And that's what we were running into.
And I'd like to defer to you guys moving in the future for these things, so you're not having to, I'd like to know what you think before I tell somebody. I'd like to try to use you guys as advisors for me, so.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right, thank you.
We'll let you do that.
Appreciate it.
And the property we're talking about is the one that's cross-hatched with the red in there. And he's looking to put an addition on the side and back of that, based upon the site plan that you have is page 2. And the question that I had to the building commissioner, I had conversation with your previous building commissioner, and he said that in these areas, these R1 areas, it could be average setback. In fact, he said the last variance I did here wasn't necessary. And I said, well, we did it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But he said basically it's average setback. So then I started looking at that in terms of this site plan. And on the College Avenue side, first of all, I'll just say this is 2 front yard setbacks.
Yes, corner lot. Corner
Yeah, we have
lot.
one on the front, and we have one on the Liberty Street side, if you will. And so on the front on College Avenue, if you're looking at average setback, everything along there, if you notice, is either encroaching on the property line or is right on the property line. And with our addition, we're planning on being about 22.6 feet to the stoop, and then another 6 or 8 feet back. So I didn't know whether I needed to ask for a variance on that or not. That's why I'm here. And then on the, what I consider the side, but it's the front yard, on Liberty Street, just for the heck of it, I ran Liberty Street on GIS. This is not a survey, but I ran it on GIS and tried to look and see what the various setbacks were. And if you notice, they go on the east side of the street, they're pretty small. They go 7 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet, whatever. Then on the west side, the property in question, present structure is 20.8 feet, and then going further south, 14, 18, 20, and 18. So it kind of looked like to me, I'm not telling you what the answer is that I want to ask, but it kind of looked like to me I probably need a variance on that Liberty Street side.
On my 10 cents, what I thought?
Because that is a front.
It is a front, yeah.
Is the front door to the house on Liberty or on?
It's on College.
Yes.
The only access to the house right now is on College. There's a garage and a front door, and that's on College.
Okay.
So the front, I'm sorry, the front door and garage is on College.
Yes.
And you're looking at 22.5 foot there, which is within reason, within the line of sight, if you take the average, just as Easterday said.
Right.
It's less than the house.
Dan, I appreciated your comment just a second.
I do not like having 2 front yard setbacks. I don't
These
think
would
it's
all be
well,
quite right. I think it should be where the front door is, should be where it comes from.
And you guys would be agreeing with that?
And
Right, but I know which way, we'd have to change the ordinance in order to go.
Right, I know that, I know that,
And-
I know that.
And to be honest with you, I know we're being recorded, but many, many, many years ago, we had that discussion. And the board kind of said, well, we understand, but you come in and we'll probably give you the variance because it's not a big issue, because we tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
So that they didn't want to change the ordinance back then, but, because they wanted to look at every one of them.
We can't.
But they kind of said, yeah, we understand.
In my opinion, sir, the only, you'd have to ask for the east side yard setback.
Liberty off of 5 foot.
Right.
Not even 5, probably close.
And right
Because
now,
you're still 11 feet away almost, right?
on the Liberty Street, you got the,
What
would
about,
it be,
is there a sidewalk there though? What about this?
you've got a minimum right now that's existing off of Liberty is 18 feet.
On the other side,
On the other side of the road.
No, 14 feet, one,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which that's going right a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
That's my own home.
It's on the
I'm
north.
over here, I grew up right over
to
here.
be honest, I would look at that 2 different ways, because you're,
I grew up on Fort.
it is a
This
corner
This
lot.
is my backyard here.
and bad enough that the next lot next to you, adjacent, would be 14 feet, and the house that you're gonna be putting on your lot, their lot, if it was aligned more with that particular house, is probably the way I would look at it. I agree 100% with the, on College.
The one thing I would also add, going back to the sidewalk, according to our building standards, is there's no current sidewalk on the east side on that property. If I'm
On
looking
that
at
property, but what about the other property?
No, there aren't.
It's all on the east side of
No.
the street.
And no,
Okay.
building ordinance required, and I don't like the sidewalk going nowhere. I don't know why.
I don't either, but we have required it, and I just for consistency's sake, on the record, that I just saying that that's not there, that's something to consider. But there's nothing on that street that has sidewalks
Yeah,
yet.
nothing on that side.
No.
I'm curious why the addition that's proposed couldn't be moved west, so you wouldn't need to request, moved so that the east end of the addition is the same distance as the current eastern edge of the existing property.
I will talk to them, but I think it deals with entrance. I think what you're looking at on that northeast corner is entrance. But I will.
Into the house addition, that
Yeah,
little,
into the
that little jet going north.
Yeah, I think that's
you're
what
right.
it is.
Probably.
But I'll discuss it with them.
But with the house addition, if you rotated it 90 degrees fit in that little nook and still be within the
See
current.
this, so that one here.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know how they're attaching, what they're attaching to.
I don't know
That's
either.
here.
Well, it looks like to me that that could be possibly like, almost like a separate quarters or whatever that could be separate from the house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like mother-in-law's house,
If we-
mother-in-law's
I think it is
addition.
probably
And we say 25
quarters
foot.
back.
And I'm wondering,
But the
you know, with
existing is 20 foot.
yes, in a normal case, but with a 5-foot variance.
20.79,
Is it?
that's grandfathered in, so putting this addition, just moving it over this way.
Right.
We're on the same page.
Jim, in regards to the entrance there, that little niche there, would that door
Well,
that's
another thing.
on that,
probably they're
would that
looking
be
at is,
facing, would that
you're looking at
be
your roof
on the
lines.
east face of the existing?
You know what I'm saying? Because if you do
Or
that, you've
would
already
it
got,
be
you're already
on the
going,
north
you're already
side
going like
of
this,
the
and
addition?
then what do you do?
I
That's
will
probably why they
see
did
what I
it.
can
So you're
find
gonna
out
be
in
an
that
L,
regard.
so you
I
can come
think
over
it
here,
may be
you're
both.
going boom, boom, boom.
I'm just kind of curious, I mean, if that,
Yeah,
if
right,
if
that's
that
what I'm
east
saying.
side
That's
of
probably why they
the
didn't do it
addition
like that.
were
You see that?
the same distance as the east side of the current building,
That's what I
I
thought.
Well-
would, you know, the only thing you would need,
I'm just thinking out loud, if I remember it right, that's the garage there, is that, on the west side of that, or on the east side of that house is the garage, I think.
Yes, it is.
Right, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I
You
know.
know,
That's right in my,
I
right in
was
my
gonna say,
back.
that's your wheelhouse.
That's my wheelhouse
That's
there,
your
yes.
wheelhouse. That's what I was thinking.
Banks is used.
But that's what we were talking about too.
so is there, then I guess the question is the garage gonna be reconfigured?
I'll find out.
But that's what I was talking about earlier, Jim, as far as being aligned with the house to the south. You know what I'm talking about as far as the.
Yeah, the house
line.
to the south is
Because you're already, what,
basically 14,
that you're like, what?
and they were asking for,
You're at 20 right now, or something, I can't read.
20.79.
Yeah, but that's the front, that's the front, that's the front side of that house,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not, yeah, now, it's not like, you know what I'm saying?
But it is, the front, it's the front of the other one next to it as well.
Right, well, but you're still
Now
going
you're
off of
talking-
college, but you, like I said, he's
No,
got
I'm
two
talking
front
about,
yard.
I'm talking about Liberty.
yeah. But the
On
one
Liberty right now, he's got 20.7,
to the garage,
Off of Liberty is
Off of Liberty.
20.79.
to the garage.
and the house that's to the south of him on the next lot is only 14.1 off that,
Yes.
Off of Liberty.
off of Liberty.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, if he, but his proposal
but
is
it's also,
further,
it also appears,
right now, his proposed structure is gonna be closer to the street.
It would be a
Is
little.
that correct?
yeah, and it also
So, I mean, I
appears,
think you could get a variance, but I mean, I think if you went for a variance to the 14 feet instead of 25.
Okay, so if I'm hearing right, you're saying 14, 15 would be more palatable because it'd line up.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's why he was asking as far as what that was gonna be. I think
Yeah.
as far as being able to be moved.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't either. I'm not saying what we would approve or not approve. I'm just
We'll
saying.
figure it out. Oh, yeah, I'm not asking that. I'm
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
I guess what I'm consulting is, I think, moving forward for me, I would have told Jim on my own, and I think I believe this, and I'm confident that on the north side of that property, I don't think I have an issue. I could have said it's in line with the existing
Right.
property at 22.5, we're fine. We're not gonna go for a variance there, you got it.
Okay.
The second thing I would have asked, I think my recommendation is, I would have said the same thing, I would have recommended a variance 5 foot towards the eastern property line as it exists for this current mapping to come before you guys. How that looks, the advice I think helps to go back with, and I like doing it this way.
Yeah.
But that helps me learn how to advise people, and it also, I think, moving forward can help people in here
Right.
make smoother cases.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds great.
All right.
Okay, I just didn't want to come and ask for more than I needed or less than I needed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about it this way, but.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It can be, let's put it, it's doable.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
it's
Not
possible.
guaranteeing
I won't
anything,
say
but
No,
it's
I
doable.
never asked
Probable
you to
may
do
not
that.
even- It is possible.
Been doing this for 45 years, never asked for that.
No,
Hey, you didn't go, you didn't go the other.
speaking of that, you guys have faked me out a little bit. We break it up.
All right, we'll wait.
And you say we're not gonna be discussing?
We're good.
305?
No.
And the Fairchild as well?
We're not,
I'm holding back on it, and
Okay.
we're no 305.
Okay, so the next meeting will be?
I guess with 305, we're gonna have a case. Next meeting is scheduled for January, and I'm sorry, I can't remember.
15.
Thank you, 15. And I think we have at least one, if not two cases on the docket. Okay?
Next meeting at 6:30 PM, Thursday, January 15th.
I'll get the cases in
Before
your
we
hands.
adjourn, I would like to remind the board that Dan and I both are coming up, which if he doesn't agree to reapply, I did reapply for my plan commission.
Good, thank you. So, Dan.
But
You did, for sure?
Yeah, I guess, did I have to go talk to Karen or
Karen.
what?
he talked
Talk to Karen.
Which
I was told there's
Somebody
only,
gonna put me out or what?
I'm not sure. I think it's for plan.
Yeah,
No.
plan commission is what it's for.
But the plan commission appointed me.
Right.
Yes,
To the
but
BZA.
I'm
To the
saying there's,
BZA.
I
So I have to
understand
be-
that. There's one position for the plan that was Barry's that he needs to renew. I don't think Dan's up on anything, but.
Yes, I am.
He's up on
Okay,
the
then
plan.
go talk to Karen and she'll
He's
know.
up on the plan commission.
All right, I'll swing and.
Thank you.
I'll go in there
Yeah,
tomorrow.
it wouldn't even show that we was up for the
Yeah,
other,
Okay.
except for the fact if I appointed him
gotcha.
to the BZA,
BZA, I get it.
then it'd be complicated.
Yeah, so Perry, if you didn't do that tonight, we would be gone. And if you didn't get reappointed, then both of us would be gone.
Right.
Because you're the one that.
Let's wrap up the meeting, get these people
Well,
offline.
that was not to get anybody to reply. I'm just letting you know
I
ahead of
got you.
time what we're looking at right now, so I wasn't trying to put
No,
Dan in
I
a position where he had to say one way or the other. Okay.
Let's get a motion
to
here.
adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,